In this episode, I'm going to show you all the messiness of setting up an agentic company that's going to run all of my SaaS companies. That's right. I'm not just going to show you the finished result with all the fancy dashboards. We're going to show you all of the terminal messiness and setting up with Claude Code and then working with OpenClaw with the agents. That's what I recommend, using Claude Code. Do not use OpenClaw to get this all set up. Claude Code is much smarter and better at doing it. I encourage you to check out my first episodes on this subject if you haven't already. But without further ado, let's get into it. Here we are in Claude Code in my directory where my OpenClaw is installed. So Claude Code is actually going to be the one that's going to make changes to our OpenClaw instance and add in the agents. You're probably asking, why are we using Claude Code to do that? Because Claude Code is much better at it, like a lot better at it. I have found that the AI and agents that you have within OpenClaw can really fumble about with making changes to itself. So I recommend using Claude Code for that. It's way smarter, it's way more surgical, and actually gets the job done the way that you want it to get done. And I've had so many issues with the agents within OpenClaw to actually get things done. So here I have a super complicated prompt, not really, about describing what I'm looking for, which is basically a COO agent. So Chief Operating Officer, that is going to be the orchestrator for my OpenClaw. And it's going to delegate to other main agents where work that needs to get done. And the other main agents like research, marketing, engineering, to name a few. Very basic stuff that everybody is going to want in their OpenClaw. These other sub-agents and the main agent is going to have skills, but these are coming as we work through the various tasks that need to be done, and those will get built out by Claude, and we will work with Claude on that, probably within plan mode like I've done here. So you can see I enabled plan mode, just did /plan. This is all done within the terminal in my Hostinger instance. And then I have the plan here with Claude. It has a COO agent hierarchy kind of defined here. So that was just based off of this prompt. Claude went to work for about 5 minutes to plan this out. Really kind of came up with the structure that I really like. COO, then research, marketing, engineering. So I wanted to show you guys this just to show that it is really easy to kind of get up and running with OpenClaw once you have the initial configuration. You can check my other videos on getting that configuration correct and how to get it going. But after that prompt, we now have an update to my agents-golden.json, which is a custom JSON file that I came up with because of all of the issues that I came up with while getting my OpenClaw instance up and running on Hostinger. Things just kept on getting erased. So I have kind of like this source of truth that I use to get my OpenClaw up and running again and again and to get it working properly. So the agents -golden is where all my agents are going to be stored. Claude Code kind of goes through a bit of that here with defining what that looks like within the JSON structure. Then it's going to update the OpenClaw.json with those agents because your OpenClaw.json really is your kind of source of truth for everything. It's going to create some workspace directories. It's going to create some initial skill MD files for these agents. Those look pretty good right now. I think I'll be defining these a little bit more as I keep working with these agents and as we go here. Then it's going to restart the container, and after the restart, it's going to be live. It should just be working here within our OpenClaw instance, so then I will test that out. It has some other notes here, nothing really that shocking here within the notes. And then it's just asking me if I can just start to get executed. So I will do that here in just a moment, but I just really wanted to show you guys just how easy it is really to kind of get going with building out your initial structure. And then from here, you can define more agents, define more skills, and really just kind of work with Claude Code in defining everything that you're looking for. And again, I do encourage you to use Claude Code to do this. So this is great. We have a lot of file edits done here. We have our various agents in the JSON being edited along with the OpenClaw JSON. Kind of goes through what AIs it's using. It's using KimiK 2.5, Minimax M 2.5 for the coder, but pretty much everything else is KimiK. We can always change that out later. It doesn't mean you have to stick with those. but KimiK is a good cheap one to go with right now. And if you didn't catch it in my other video, I use OpenRouter for all my AI routing needs. I don't sign up directly with Moonshot or Alibaba. That's the nice thing about using something like OpenRouter. It really kind of makes that nice and easy to work with the various AIs that you need to use. In the agents markdown file, it's just kind of making note of the other agents that we just put together here, including the ones that I had previously that I was messing around with, Coder, DevOps, and a video editor agent. Now those are being put under the various kind of C-level agents that I've put together with marketing, research, and engineering. So that's really nice that it did that for me. So that's the power of using Claude Code instead of prompting your kind of OpenClaw agents to make changes. These are really big changes that sure, maybe you can fumble through with OpenClaw, but I have found that it really doesn't go well. And I've messed up my OpenClaw many times just trying to make changes with the agent. And not to mention like having that Claude Code outside of OpenClaw, you know, having Claude Code outside of OpenClaw, like you can restart the container and do the things you need to do. So it's kind of an outside looking in. The Claude Code's kind of going in there and making the changes very smartly, I may add, instead of having OpenClaw kind of trying to change itself. I've heard the kind of comparison of it's like trying to make changes while you're in the driver's seat of a car. You know, you can't do that. So Claude Code's kind of the outside of the car, the mechanic kind of making changes to the car. That's why it's able to do it so well. That, and it's also the smartest model out there. So let's just stick with that and actually rely on the smart model and not a bunch of dum-dums kind of run around with wrenches and screwdrivers trying to make changes to itself, which that is what I have found that OpenClaw does. So it made the changes really well. Here's a little bit of the agent hierarchy. So I kind of wanted to walk through this with you guys and just kind of show you just how you can get started. And I even prompted my kind of my OpenClaw within my chat here, and you can see that it has the agents registered. I can start to prompt them, and I'll start going through some examples here. So now that we have the COO agent and marketing, engineering, and research agents deployed, let's see what they can do. So they actually have a how to use them here, a little section here, and I actually took their suggestion. So I asked about, you know, addressing the COO and what I can call it, and, you know, I can call it main or the name is COO, so that's cool. So I just wanted to be specific about that. But with the COO, I said, hey, research the competitive landscape for Game Monument. Delegate this to the right agent and come up with a result for me. So Game Monument is my main startup that enables video game developers to sell in-game monuments to their player base. A monument is anything that's within a video game already. It could be a statue, a plaque, a brick in a road, anything that you can apply a text field to put someone's name and a message on any video game object. Could be literally anything in a video game. So I said, hey, you know, come up with a report for me about the competitive landscape for Game Monument. And after a bit, it came back. It said sub-agent research finished. So it said it's conducted a comprehensive research report on the competitive landscape for Game Monument. No direct competitors. Hey, that's nice. I expected that. I came up with a completely new and bonkers idea. So that because nobody wants to do this. So I have a marketed overview here. So this is pretty cool. Adjacent competitors, which there isn't any, but it just kind of gives me some ideas of where I, in terms of marketplaces, you know, what they do. I'm actually doing a completely free model. Nobody has to pay for anything. My fees are on top of it. So it's not totally correct, but it didn't know these things, right? Like it just kind of is making this up. So it's coming up with some recommendations, you know, features here. This is cool. You know, it's completely coming up with this based on just the little bit that it knows about Game Monument. I could really flesh this out more, work with the agent, give it a lot more background, give it a proper markdown file to reference for a system prompt. That would be the right thing to do. But this is just a little test just to kind of show, hey guys, you can build out some agents with OpenClaw and you can have it go and do research for you. So that's really the power here, guys. It's really exciting stuff. I'm going to be building all of my companies on top of AI-driven agents that are going to sit there and do work for me, do research, dig into things, everything from social media posts to video editing to handling customer service, doing a Kanban board with tasks. Like I'm going to be building out this whole thing. I hope you follow along with me. I'm going to show you guys everything, not just the finished products like everybody else does. I know this may seem a little bit boring, but I hope you guys will find some value in how somebody just kind of trudges through and builds this out. This was a pretty simple step, as you saw. Like, it was a pretty simple prompt, and a lot has happened already in this. So I hope this encourages you guys to use OpenClaw, open it up, build out some agents, and get in there and have fun. I'll see you in the next one.